Are you thinking of going to Scotland this year, but you don't know what to bring? Well, I just got back from a week trip going to Edinburgh, Glasgow, and the Highlands. And in this video, I want to go through everything I packed so that in 2024, if you're looking to go to Scotland or in the future, you can have the best experience like I did. So without further ado, let's get into the video. What is up, YouTube? My name is Alex. Welcome back to the Lifting Nomad. And in this video, like I said, I want to go through what I packed to bring to Scotland for a week trip in 2024. Quick backstory, just some quick context. I've been to 25 countries over the last few years, so I've gotten pretty good at traveling light and how to pack and what to bring and what not to bring. So let's just get into this. So first things first, I want to talk about the actual bags I brought. So this was no checked bag. I typically do no checked bag for a week or less, depending on where I'm going. If I'm going like long-term backpacking, I just think it's the best way to travel. So keep in mind as well, the bags that I brought here, I do travel with quite a lot of camera equipment. Yeah, given that I do like to do recording these videos while I'm traveling. So with that said, also worth noting to check the airline website for what you're actually allowed to bring onto these flights, because a lot of them are different. Typically, if you are flying like an international flight from Canada or the US to Europe, or to like a long haul flight to Asia or South America, you are allowed quite a lot of baggage. Most of the time I fly, the allowance is up to a 50-liter carry-on bag. So this backpack here, I use the Peak Design 50-liter backpack. I've had it for a very long time. It's one of the best purchases I think I've made for my travels, and a 50-liter will fit in the overhead bin. So typically you won't have any issues bringing this bag. It doesn't fit under the seat. That's where I actually use a 20-liter Nomatic. This is a new bag that I got this year. Incredibly well built. Like, their whole design philosophy is like indestructible build. And if you ever touch one of these things in person, it's incredible. It is expensive for sure, but for what you're getting, I can't really see this being a better bag. And it's 20-liter, it does expand to 230. Same with my 50-liter one. It's a 40 technically, and then it expands to 50. In addition to that, a couple other things I always travel with. I travel with a crossbody bag that I never take off. So this is where I put my passport, my wallet, my keys, my AirPods, the AirFly that lets me connect to the TVs to have my AirPods connect for the audio, bliss decks, that kind of stuff. I always keep in here. That way it's really accessible when I'm traveling. Between these three bags, I've been on probably 50 flights or so, and I've never ever had an issue. So as long as you're kind of following the allowances, you'll be fine. In addition to that, a couple other essentials I do recommend people bring. I tend to switch over my toiletries into like smaller sort of variants, something like this, that lets me bring all the product I need for a week without bringing like the massive sort of bottles that most toiletries come in. Things like toothpaste, things like face wash, moisturizer, sunscreen, they tend to come in very big bottles. But if you are able to transfer them, obviously you get like a travel toothpaste would be my recommendation. But if you are able to transfer your other toiletries to something like this, you'll be much better off. And finally, in Scotland, they do use a plug type G. So this is the same that they use in the rest of the UK. So if you are coming over here, make sure you do have a converter for your plug, or you have a plug that is supported by type G. Otherwise, you're not gonna be able to plug in your devices. Also, generally, it's not recommended to use anything like a hair dryer, a curling iron, a blow dryer, things like that, because the voltage is different in Europe than it is in North America. And I've used a steamer before, and it literally just fried the whole thing when I tried to use it in Europe. So generally, don't bring those. If they have them at your hotel or hostel, just use them there. All right, we are in my dark basement bedroom now. And first thing, I also want to acknowledge about the type of clothes that I brought. I left in July of 2024 during the Euros, and this is technically their summer, so the warmest time of year it's gonna get. Generally during the day, the highs were around 17 or 18 Celsius. The lows were around 10 to 11 Celsius. It's very rainy, it's very gray, it's very windy, and this is the warmest time of year. If you are coming at a different time, I would recommend obviously layering up more, bringing more weather appropriate clothing. Either way, I think most of this advice should be valid either way. Okay, so let's start with shoes. I brought 2 pairs of shoes. Typically, if I'm not bringing sandals, I only try to bring 2 pairs of shoes. In this case, it was very, very straightforward. I would recommend bringing 1 pair of waterproof sort of hiking or walking shoes, I use Vessis. I think they're one of the best brands I've seen who create waterproof shoes. So if that's in your price range, definitely check those out. If you are coming to winter, I'd maybe recommend like boots, something a little bit warmer, a little bit more effective for hiking. Second pair of shoes I brought was a black pair of Lacoste sort of leather sneakers. I wear these when I go out. I find they're pretty indestructible. They look classy enough to go to like a fancy restaurant, but also like reusable enough that I can go to like a bar or a pub. So I like to do that. Because they're leather, they stay relatively clean as well. All right, well, we'll start from the outside and work in. I brought two jackets. I brought a light sort of spring jacket with me. I wear this when I go to the airport. I find it helps me have more room in my bags, but also I get kind of cold sometimes, especially if I've had one too many cheeky pints in the lounge before my flight. I like to have a jacket. It can also double as like a pillow or an additional like backrest if you fold it up. So it is something I like to have, and a little bit of flexibility. This is kind of a nicer looking spring jacket that I'm able to wear to bars or pubs. I honestly could have gone with a heavier one. This was maybe a little bit too light. It is a super light spring jacket. I would have maybe layered up a little bit more if I had known. Second one I brought is a rain jacket. This is absolutely crucial if you're going to Scotland. This is an Arc'teryx. You definitely don't need to ball out something this much to bring, but you need a rain jacket. It rains pretty much every single day there. If you don't have a rain jacket, it doesn't even make sense. Like if you're going outside or doing any sort of hiking or nature activities, it is going to rain. You are going to get wet. That's why I really stressed the waterproof shoes, a rain jacket. It's absolutely necessary. And on that point, do not bring an umbrella. Like I was talking to a bunch of locals about this. All you see is tourists trying to hold on to an umbrella, and then they just get Mary Poppins'd away and basically get blown away. It's too windy. All you're gonna do is break your umbrella. If you look like on the streets, you won't see locals using umbrellas because it doesn't make any sense. They're way too windy. It's way too windy there. They're just gonna get destroyed. It's not gonna keep you dry. If anything, it's just gonna be annoying. So don't bring an umbrella. Literally, it's pointless. Bring a rain jacket with a hood and you'll be good to go. All right, let's talk about the upper body. So it is super important to have a base layer. This is a long sleeve merino wool sweater. Shout out Unbound Merino, the best men's travel clothes. Check them out, unboundmerino.com. And this truly was a lifesaver. I think I wore this 3 or 4 days in a row. It's a little bit bigger than I am, so I was able to wear undershirts underneath it to make sure that I am layered up and pretty warm. But the thing about merino wool is it tends to be pretty moisture wicking. It doesn't really smell. It can stay clean for a long time. And it also, I find when I'm like cold, it actually warms me up, but when I'm warm, it also cools me down. So it's really good temperature regulating material. Merino wool, highly recommended, or some kind of long sleeve that you can put underneath your rain jacket. That really is the key because you need to be warm and you need to be dry. In addition to that, depending on what you're doing, I brought like 3 to 5 just t-shirts. I think it's really simple to mix and match dark colored t-shirts. You don't have to worry too much about it. Going out in Edinburgh and Glasgow was pretty casual, so I think like having his light spring jacket with a t-shirt underneath, you're totally fine to get into most bars or restaurants. So I wouldn't necessarily worry about dressing up too much, but I like having kind of the colors to mix and match. And again, these can go underneath your long sleeve to give you an additional layer if you are going somewhere like up in the Highlands that might be a little bit colder, or if you do get a colder front of weather while you're there. Additionally, I did bring like one dress shirt just in case I did go to like one of the Michelin restaurants or I wanted to dress up one night. I didn't even end up using mine. So, take that at face value. All right, working our way down to bottoms. Not even sure you'll be able to see this, but I wore like a black pair of joggers, and these are Young LA. I really like these pair of joggers. They're like cargo pants, so they're zippered on the pockets so my stuff doesn't fall out if I fall asleep on the plane or bus. But they also have an additional pocket that's Velcro on the side. Don't have to get that brand, obviously, but I really stressed a pair of joggers, maybe 2, to wear kind of throughout the day, throughout your trip. They're good for walking, they're good for going to the gym, they're moisture wicking, but a pair of black joggers like this, they also look like professional enough that you can get into nice restaurants, and they're also like just super comfy. I don't wear PJs ever on planes. I just prefer to wear joggers. They're just as comfortable, but you look so much better and so much more professional. In addition to that, I also wore a pair of black jeans. Pretty much goes with everything I just described from my previous outfit, so I can mix and match the jeans with any of my shirts, any of my dress shirts, any of my jackets, and it's gonna look totally fine and natural. Black jeans, I think also, if you're worried about like wrinkling your stuff when you're out and about, just makes a lot more sense to have a pair of jeans with you instead of like, dress pants or linen pants. And finally, 7 pairs of socks, 7 pairs of underwear. I know it's annoying, but really like socks do fold up pretty well. You can use like compression bags to make your clothes fit a little bit snugger in your backpack. But I find like, especially you want to bring warm socks, not ankle socks. These are also like, I brought 1 pair of like hiking socks, so they're waterproof and a little bit warmer. That was what I was wearing up in the Highlands. It's super worth it. Trust me, I know it's a pain to pack that many. And if you're going to do laundry, then you can obviously bring less, but I tend to just not do laundry on week trips. I just bring enough clothes to last me the whole time. And all right, well, that's going to be the video. Hopefully this was useful to see what to pack and what to bring for your trip to Scotland. It is a blast out here. I had a great time. Check out some of my other videos for some of the content on Edinburgh as well as Glasgow. But hopefully this video was useful. If it was, feel free to leave a like or comment in the section below. Always helps the algorithm. As always, my name is Alex. Welcome back to Lifting Nomad. We'll see you in the next one. Peace.